sports. It's in the game. EA Sports and the PGA Tour so proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From spectacular Pebble Beach, California, final round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Tell you what, we have seen some tremendous golf this week, outdone only by the incredible beauty that is the coastline of the Monterey Peninsula. As we check the Sunday leaderboard, our leader here on this Sunday is our featured golfer. He's got a sizable advantage here as he looks to increase it further. And not the way you want to start your morning. That is going to be trouble right out of the starting gate. The lie is not a friendly one, but still a chance to get on in two with a good shot here. Yeah, not a great lie, and that's on the green, but with work to do. Iona Stephen is at the first green. This for birdie.
Yeah, Rich, this is going to be a really slow one because we're going right back up that slope, but it's straight, so pace the priority.
Yeah, that's a nice putt. Getting it there up the hill was half the battle. This got there just a little wide of the mark. Safely in. It's a par here at the first. And he's going to maintain that substantial lead. Frank, interestingly, this hole number 2 plays as a par 4 for the U.S. Open. It is a par 5. It's absolutely gettable, and players must take advantage.
Certainly, Rich. Off that back tee, really you've got to grab a driver. I know there's bunkers left and right, but the decision is whether that tee shot finishes in the fairway, because if it does, you're going to have a crack at this par 5 and 2. If it doesn't, then you play the layup.
No damage done after missing the first fairway, but he should like this one a little bit better here at number 2. Now, after the big drive, this a good distance here for a second to the par 5. That ball went straight down into the heavy rough.
And for a short little shot, the heavy rough certainly makes things more difficult because the rough gets between the club face and the ball. But not bad, all things considered.
Yeah, well done. It's a birdie here at the second. And he'll get that score to minus 29. This is a pretty hole, the third. 397 yards, just a gentle dog leg to the left. And you do have the option. If you're longer, maybe you just take it up over those trees and cut the dog leg, leaving yourself very short shot in. Or you can play it out to the right, have a little bit more in, but still certainly with a good chance at birdie. driving's been sensational all week, and here's another one that's going to set up nicely in the fairway. Down on the course, let's check in with Nota Begay III.
Huge drive off the tee, now in the driver's seat with a short second and a chance to get it close.
Okay, not a bad lead. That's a good shot. 10-foot putt left. Nicely done. Things looking good early. That's birdies at 2 and 3. And he's going to move to 30 under par. Frank, this is where it becomes really obvious where you are. You're at Pebble Beach. There's the Pacific Ocean, and this begins that magnificent 7-hole stretch right along the ocean. A fun hole, not long, 331 yards up the hill. We're at the 4th.
Yeah, and each one of those 7 holes that you refer to, Rich, there's a common theme, which is don't look right, because that's pretty much the ocean the whole way around. And this one here, that decision has to be made. 330 to the front of the green. If there's a hint of a breeze, you could try and drive it. Otherwise, really, you've got to worry about that pot bunker. That's between 230 and 250 yards. But as I first said, do not go right.
Oh. And this one gonna settle into the bunker off the tee. Digs into the bunker, getting set to play the 3rd shot. Yeah, look how quick that was. Very difficult to get that to stop, even out of the sand, and that race is right on by. Slow down. Okay, that'll run about 4 feet by. Nicely judged, though it's 4-5 here at the par 3. And fortunately, with a big lead already, very little damage done. We arrive now at the 189-yard par 3 called the New Fifth. Despite being redesigned by Jack Nicklaus late last century, safest play here is to the left center of the green. Second shot now, here at the par 3. I think he'll be fairly pleased with that, Frank. What do you think?
I certainly do. It was so good.
That one finished off. It is a par here at 5. And that's going to keep this large lead right where it is. Frank, here we are, another good scoring opportunity, the dramatic par 5/6.
It's easy to have that view of Stillwater Cove on the right, but that, needless to say, is not the place to go. Those 5 bunkers down the left really determine your strategy off the tee. Plus, you're playing from elevation, nearly 20 yards extra off the tee. So that run out at 360 at the end of the fairway, believe me, that's in play. Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up.
Second shot from the rough at the par 5 6th hole. You cannot help but think about what Tiger Woods did here in 2000 on his way to winning the U.S. Open. It was one of the greatest shots in the history of the sport. 7-iron from about 200 yards, thick rough. He just lashed at it, muscled it up the hill. And Roger Maltby, the announcer, said, it's just not a fair fight. He was right. So after an amazing 3-wood from the rough, this a very good look at eagle. Oh, yeah, that's how you take advantage of a par 5. It's in for an eagle 3. Superb. Moving on to the 106-yard par 3-7. One of the most beautiful holes in the world. Craggy rocks, blue skies, and the beckoning Pacific beyond. Absolutely breathtaking. Okay, that's going to end up right in the middle of the green. A look here at birdie.
And this has a little bit of uphill to it, working back to the right at the end.
Oh, wow, that is some kind of putt. Perfect speed, perfect line. It's in for a birdie. That's going to move him to, you ready for this? 32 under. We head now to the 416-yard 8th hole, one of the premier par 4s in golf. Fairway wood or long iron off the tee, giving way to a long approach over the cliffs and a yawning chasm below. Oh, he's overcooked it. That is well left. Oh, that gets the cart path.
Well, that drive was enormous. I know it's in the rough, but that is long.
So after the missed fairway, his second now from the rough at 8. From the rough into the bunker, or the frying pan into the fire. Sometimes mistakes, they just have a way of compounding themselves. Oh, the hands came through beautifully there. Good thump of the sand and a good chance to save par. Okay, good roll there. It is a par here at the 8th, and he'll remain well in control of this tournament. 2019 U.S. Open number 9 was the hardest hole on the golf course. Frank, give yourself certainly a good crack at 4 by hitting the fairway.
And that's all you wanted to do in 2019. It's fine to say all too, but having to hit the left side of this fairway just to keep it in play, and then once again hit into, I know we say this a lot here, but a very narrow green and a very small green, but this time with a long club.
Boy, the rhythm is definitely there today. Another wonderful tee shot. From the fairway, let's go to Noda.
Well, when you find your ball in the fairway at the 9th, you hit a great tee shot, one of the most difficult fairways to hit on the entire golf course, but now it opens up the opportunity to hit a great second.
And that one gonna be okay, although it does finish just off the green. I don't think we'll be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight, Frank, but all in all, that's not too bad.
Yeah, not bad, but not great, so not bad.
Well, that'll wind up a par, and it'll keep him at 4 under. Starting the backside with a 444-yard par 4 10th, the last in this stretch along Carmel Bay, offering the widest fairway at Pebble, feeding left to right toward the water. It's going to be up the left-hand side.
Yeah, it might be in the rough, but that was absolutely crushed.
So he should be able to get a full club on this, but the ball below his feet for his second.
Good shot again there. Well thought out. Landing the ball short, letting the ball run onto the green. And inside, I'd call that a birdie putt. So that's birdie range.
Yes, rolls it right in. A birdie here at 10. And it is looking more and more like it's going to be back-to-back wins in this tournament. Well, this is where Pebble Beach changes significantly. We're going away from the Pacific Ocean now, up the hill toward the forest. Frank, what do you think of the 11th hole?
It's tricky, Rich. Number one, because it's blind, as you've detailed, but uphill and it's sea level, so that tee shot's not going to go that far. There is a run out down that left side, just inside the tree line there. That's about 308 yards, but you're not going to go that far. So really, you have to respect this hole. Just hit a fairway fine.
This one working up the right side. He just keeps motoring right along. Another good tee shot right there. From well down the fairway, this a bit of a tricky distance for his second. All right, that's a board, but a lot of green between ball and hole. Chance now for another birdie.
A great deal of success on the greens thus far, but this one's going to be a challenge.
Oh, that looked good the whole way. Very nicely done. So that brushed in for par here at 11. And pars are fine at this point with this tournament well in hand. And now we arrive at the 202-yard par 3 12. Best to work the ball right to left, landing as softly as possible on one of the firmest greens at Pebble Beach. Didn't play the wind very well there, and that's got to wind up too strong and over the green. Now a delicate little chip here for his second. This from 7 feet. Now, we've seen folks hang that putt out to the right. It does not move as much as you'd think, and that goes on by. So, a tough hole. That's in for bogey at 12. But fortunately, this one still well in hand. Well, this par 4 13th hole doesn't show up on a lot of postcards the way, say, the 8th hole would. But, Frank, this is a legitimate and challenging par 4, isn't it?
It certainly is, Rich. 400 yards, but it plays longer than that by virtue of being uphill. But the addition of those 3 bunkers in on the right side have certainly shrunk the width of this fairway. Plus, it still tips from the right side to the left side. And you've got an uphill second shot. So, I've seen everything here. 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, you name it. Well, that drive was enormous. I know it's in the rough, but it is long.
Not in the fairway, but not a real problem here at the 13th, getting set to play his second shot.
And that ball looked good in the air. You'd like it to be a little closer, but still, inside 40 feet, just going to have to be careful with the lag putting.
A birdie opportunity here at 13.
Well, this is going to demand a lot of touch in the fingertips. There's not a whole lot of left to right movement, but it's going to be very fast.
Oh boy, he had it right in the jaws and it just wouldn't get there. Okay, safely in for par here at 13. And he'll be unable to take that score any further under par. He'll stay right where he is. Well, in the world of professional golf, there are very few legitimate 3-shot par 5s left. This 582-yard par 5 14th at Pebble Beach is one of those holes. It is all you want.
Well, somehow, that ball's got through the other side of the tree and really hadn't lost that much yardage.
So in the fairway, but a pretty good number to carry here for a second to the par 5.
That second shot got all the way down by the green, but in the bunker. So we'll have to see what the explosion shot can do from here. Really need a birdie right now.
Okay, a good out, and that's what will remain for birdie. A good opportunity lost there. No issues there. It is a par here at 14. And he'll remain well under par. Here at the 15th, a good drive, Frank, would be right down the middle. A bad drive would be on 17-mile drive. As scenic as it is, it's not where you want to be, is it? It's out of bounds.
Well, you can't afford to go right. You can't afford to pay for that real estate on the right either. So, yeah, anything down there. And fortunately, it's a downhill tee shot. I know there's sort of 4 bunkers really down the left side, but really it's the pop bunker that has to be avoided. It might be in the rough, but that was absolutely crushed.
See what he can do with this one. His second at the 15th. Just want to avoid the flyer lie coming out of that rough. This will slide a bit right. It's for birdie. Ah, yes, never in doubt. It's a birdie here at 15. And stop the press as if you've heard this before. He's well on his way to yet another victory on the year. We now begin one of the most beautiful stretches of finishing holes all of golf, the march to the sea at Pebble Beach, starting with a 400-yard par 4 16. Key here, carry the island bunker. Really took a lot on with that drive, but this is going to wind up in the bunker. After a big drive, he'll dig in for a second out of the sand. All right, not exactly what you're hoping for, but safely on the putting surface with birdie still in play. Now this for another birdie.
And this is one you'd expect to make more often than not. Not too much undulation, maybe just a slight move to the right.
This round finishing strong. Back-to-back birdies now at 15 and 16. And this is turning into an absolute runaway at the top of the leaderboard. From Jack at the 1972 U.S. Open to Tom Watson, the same championship 1982. The 182-yard par 3 penultimate hole at Pebble Beach has provided historical drama time after time. That's going to be on the putting surface, and a birdie looks straight ahead. Oh, how about the run here? That a third consecutive birdie. And this one was over a while ago. This is just a walk in the park now. Frank, you don't need to say a whole lot. AT&T Pebble Beach.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful finishing hole, Rich. Two of my favorites really are this hole here, just looking at that tee shot, and the 18th at St. Andrews because of exactly where you are. But, you know, this hole, when you look at the water there, Stillwater Cove, it's so beautifully framed by the bunkers. And then when you start to look at the tee shot, you start to notice what the designer's done, just leaving the tree there in the middle of the fairway. So the decision is, do I play short, left, or right? And it's not the only tree on the hole, too, because that upcoming second shot, you have another tree short right to contend with. But if there's ever a hole you want a birdie to finish, this is the one.
Good shot that is. Home and 2 on the par 5. Remember, made eagle earlier in the round, Frank. That may be a chance for a second.
I know we can't call it a double eagle, but talk about aggression in these par 5s. Way to stand up there and just hit the shot.
Oh, my goodness. What a final round performance here. Trailing to begin the day. It's an eagle at the last, and that should almost certainly lead to victory. Well, that'll wrap it up for us today. We saw a lot of great golf, Frank.
The course was good. It was gettable for some, but in the end, it really gave you what you deserve, just the way we want it.
And that'll do it for our entire team. I'm Rich Lerner. Until next time.